Bula Vinaka boxing fans, the time has finally come to have the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. This is it, people. We've got Artur, the monster Beterbiev, versus Dimitri, the insane, slick robot Bivol. This video is my full fight prediction video that I'm going to do. It's taken me a while. I've been sort of watching all the interviews. I haven't really been active on YouTube. There's a lot of things going on. I've started a new business, which I can talk to a little bit later on, but I've been really thinking about how this fight's going to go, and I have changed my mind so many times. Because on the one hand, you have got Artur Beterbiev, 20 fights, professional fights, all 20 won, and all 20 victories by knockout or TKO. No opponent has heard the final bell. You could be outpointing Beterbiev, and then he will just bludgeon you and basically make you quit or knock you out. So that is the power of Beterbiev. One of my favorite fights of his is against these two. So obviously the most recent one, Callum Smith, how he went in and just absolutely dominated Callum Smith. There was so much talk about Callum Smith. You know, he'd be better at light heavyweight. He punches hard. He was gonna, wear the old Beterbiev out, and Beterbiev just went to him and took it straight to him pretty much, and absolutely destroyed him. The other one was Anthony Yarde. I love that fight because Anthony Yarde, I really, really think is an awesome fighter. And I think if it wasn't for Bivol and Beterbiev and being in this division, he could have actually been a champion by now. So, and that fight just went back and forth. You know, he was hurt, but came through adversity, and he won big by stopping, stopping him. So yeah, stopping Yarde. So I think those are my favorite fights. As for Bivol, well, everyone knows his most iconic fight, his, basically fight that put him on the map was the one against Canelo. At the time, Canelo had only been beaten by Floyd Mayweather, and everyone sort of thought, well, Mayweather was like a pro veteran by then. Canelo was still young, but this was regarded as peak or prime Canelo when he took on Bivol, and everyone basically didn't give Bivol a chance. And he just went in there and absolutely schooled Canelo. Just absolutely schooled him. We've seen fighters being able to outbox Canelo, but Canelo always seems to find a way back and has that sort of that pressure, that educated pressure with aggression. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, but he shows those effective punches, which lands more. He couldn't even do that. He wasn't even landing effective punches. All he could do was hit Bivol in the arms. And Bivol was just throwing so many wonderful combinations. In fact, I might just watch those two fights today before the main fight. I might go back and watch Bivol versus Canelo and Beterbiev versus Callum Smith, because I think those two fights were just amazing. Another fight that is really underrated is Bivol's win against Zurdo. Zurdo Ramirez, at the time, I think he had 40 wins, high rate of knockouts as well. This guy, strong, southpaw, and he's since gone on to win a title as well, I think at cruiserweight. So, he just absolutely schooled Zurdo. It wasn't even a fight. It was more of a schooling to Zurdo than it was to Canelo. So, could we have Bivol do something similar to Artur Beterbiev and just be schooling him and just shut Beterbiev out? Or will we have Beterbiev coming out and eventually getting to Bivol, landing those punches, backing him up, and then, it'll be over. Lots to think about. So this is my prediction. I was sort of going back and forth and thinking about it. This is how I see the fight happening. I see the first 1 or 2 rounds being quite cagey. Bivol kind of moving around, slick boxer, using his jab, throwing those combinations. Beterbiev walking forward, he won't be throwing as many, but trying to land more effective, hard punches. I feel as though the first 4 to 5 rounds, Bivol will be either just outpointing or winning comfortably, and he'll have the first 4 or 5 rounds in the bank. Right? But Beterbiev is going to start, obviously, figuring out Bivol. He's not going to give up the center of the ring. He's going to keep the center of the ring the whole time. And I think from rounds 5 to 6, you're going to start to see Beterbiev putting on more and more pressure and starting to find a bit more of Bivol as Bivol starts to tire, because the constant pressure and those thudding punches is going to take a toll, even if Bivol was blocking them. And remember, Bivol's going to be blocking those hard punches coming from Beterbiev whilst throwing many, many punches of his own. So when it comes to rounds 5 and 6, let's say round 6, his stamina, if you can think about a stamina, in my opinion, it's going to go from like 100% and it'll go down to like 50%. But Beterbiev will not have exerted as much energy. And then he's going to start to land a few more. And then Bivol is going to get caught. He's going to get caught to the body, he's going to get caught to the head, and he's going to feel that monster wrath from Artur Beterbiev. And then it's going to be go time. Bivol, I expect to hit the canvas. And then when he hits the canvas, I expect him to get up, beat the count. But I expect him, the next time he hits the canvas, for Beterbiev to jump on him and take him out before either the ref stops him or he actually knocks him out cold. So I am picking for this fight Artur Beterbiev by knockout or stoppage between rounds 8 to 12. That is my prediction. Now, I'm not an expert. I am just a YouTuber giving my opinion. So this is how I think it's going to go, but it's an intriguing fight. Whoever wins this fight could well be the best boxer on the planet. Yep. It will. You'd have to argue against Alexander the Cat Usyk. I mean, he's a 2-weight world undisputed champion. So you'd have to say that the one that wins this would have to be number 2 at least. For me, hands down, Alexander Usyk is number 1. Don't even put anyone else near Alexander Usyk. I don't want to hear about Canelo. I don't want to hear about Inoue. I don't want to hear about Tank Davis. I don't want to hear about any of these people. Alexander the Cat Usyk, the Cossack warrior, he did it in big divisions, cruiserweight and heavyweight, and he unified and he did undisputed within the space of 2 years for 2 divisions. Undefeated, undisputed, never been knocked down, never been knocked out. Olympic gold champion, world champion. 300 plus amateur fights and only like a handful of losses. So for me, Alexander Usyk is the greatest. Quite possibly could be one of the greatest boxers of all time. And if Tyson Fury beats him in December, Tyson Fury, I'm calling it right now, will be our generation's Muhammad Ali. If Tyson Fury can go back and beat Alexander Usyk like Ali was able to beat Joe Frazier in the second fight, he will become the modern Muhammad Ali. Because if you go back and you look at Muhammad Ali, everyone hated him back then. Everyone loves him now, but no one liked him back then. They all hated him. They were all going for Frazier. They were like laughing when Frazier won. Didn't give him any chance. So anyway, drop a comment. Give me your thoughts. I sort of digressed there a bit. Who do you think is going to win between Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol? And as always, you're watching Seru Bale's Boxing Undisputed. Vinaka.